Okay, so our meeting is live streaming on Facebook. Thank you all for joining us. This is Nadzrin. Hi, Nadzrin. How are you?
Cool. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our session today. It'll be fun.
All right. Okay, great. Okay, so all right. So let's begin, everyone. And just gonna put this a gallery view. Okay, Nadzrin, yay! So this is your Okay, unmute. Not sure why this is.
It says you're not allowing participants to unmute themselves, so I cannot mute myself. If I mute myself, I can't unmute.
I see. Okay. All right. You know what? Don't unmute yourself, Nadzrin. Okay.
You mean don't mute myself?
Don't mute yourself. Okay. All right. Let's go. All right, Nadzrin, could you please, introduce yourself?
How would you like me to introduce myself? What would you like me to say?
Tell us the non-work related part about you, Nadzrin.
Okay, I have 5 kids. 2 of them are sleeping right here next to me. I live in Rawang, and I am a professional learning facilitator. Right now, I have a new role. I'm a virtual learning facilitator, which means I run courses online. And that's pretty much the opening. I love cats. I love Lego. And I just love hanging out. And now with the MCO, I'm hanging out at home most of the time, or more of the time. Well, if it's non-work, then would you like to know a little bit about how I got here?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. So I think the topic today is about virtual facilitation. And a little bit of background in that is I was at a organization called Accenture. And I don't know if you know, everyone knows this one. It's one of the big 5 consulting companies in the world. And my role there was a learning coach. And not only did I do classroom sessions, real life classroom sessions, I also did train the trainer, very quick train the trainers, because long story short, Accenture doesn't bring in external trainers. They only have internal people who train their own people. So line managers have to train their staff, which means that I need to TTT them very quickly. So if a course is, say, 5 days long, they have to come in Saturday and Sunday, and I will quickly upskill them. Then Monday to Friday, they teach the course, and I mentor them from the back of the room. If I do a good job, then evaluation scores are very high every day. If I do a bad job on Saturday and Sunday, then Monday to Friday, I have to do a lot of firefighting and troubleshooting. Also, Accenture, because it's a huge company, it's about 500,000 staff, the only way to really get training out to everyone at a very affordable way was to do virtual training, or what they call VILT. It's a very boring term, VILT, virtual instructor-led training. And back then, we didn't have the software, the tools we had now. Back then, we used something called Centra, Adobe Connect, and then later on Microsoft Link. But it was still fun. It was still engaging. You had to inject the human aspect or the human engagement into it so that it doesn't become boring. And I love doing that. I was doing that since 2011 until I left Accenture in 2015. So it became part of the norm. I was telling people outside that this is what we're doing inside Accenture. And I am very sure a lot of big organizations are also doing the same thing, virtual learning. But it didn't seem to catch on. So I thought, hey, I would like to teach people how to do this. So last year, I designed a program called the VLC, which is the Virtual Learncaster Certification. And I asked around, siapa nak join, who wants to join? They were like, not interested. So I kept it. It was stored it on my hard drive somewhere. And then this year, after COVID, people were asking me, Nadzrin, can you teach me how to do this? Because they know I run virtual classes. They know that half of the classes I do are live with clients and training providers. Half of them I do public courses with people who sign up with me. So they know that I do that, and they were asking me how to do this. So long story short, the history of it this year is I started writing Facebook articles, and then I put them on LinkedIn, and people say, we want more. So I found a friend, his name is Pete Pereira. Pete is also an expert in virtual facilitation. We banded together, we did a free webinar, which I think solved a lot of the participants or the audience issues. We had a lot of big back and forth Q&A in that webinar. They said, we want more. So I took all of those articles, I took all of the Q&A we had inside that webinar, and I put it into one ebook, and I just mass emailed to everyone. And still they said, we want more. Can you teach this to us? So I had to go back and pull out the VLC, really quickly up design it so that it would meet for current requirements. And then I launched it. And the first batch was in May. It's a 4-week engagement. It's not a 4-week course, it's a 4-week engagement where we upskill you to be able to confidently, the key word here is confidently, not can do, but actually confidently run a virtual class online. And the first batch was 40 people. They've run their webinars already. And this is now in second batch and third batch, which actually 2 classes running concurrently. And I have facilitators helping me out to manage that. And that takes you up to today. the actual virtual classes for these batches start next week. This week we are in prep week. So prep week means we want to get them up to a level of they understand all of the necessities before going into class, because if we want to make sure, some people are not used to technology, they never use Zoom, they never use Google Classroom, things like that, these tools. So this week we wanted to benchmark, make sure everyone is comfortable. Then next week we start the course. So that brings us up to speed so far.
This is where I have to, speak up right now, is that I'm also a very good student of Nadzrin, a new student who had joined Nadzrin's virtual learning certification program. For all those who are listening, right, our objective today is that I've been getting a lot of inquiries about what is this virtual learning trainer or facilitator or speaker? How do we get certified? What is it in for us? And I know this room today is full of trainers, speakers, and coaches. And I'm just joined for 2 days, guys. I have to tell you this, right? It's just my third day, second day, Nadzrin.
Third day, right? Today is 4th day, already lah.
Today is 4th day. And since Monday, we were like, pump. It's amazing. You have never experienced any kind of an online program like this. And Nadzrin is not paying me to say this, okay? The facilitators are amazing. You feel that you're already building rapport. The way they structure is that they just, be there for you to support you. And and it's just such an amazing learning experience. I can't wait for next week. So that comes to the next question, Nadzrin. Okay. Am I supposed to be a trainer or a speaker to join your program? If I'm not, I've never spoken before, can I so join your program, Nadzrin? And while you answer that, I'm gonna close this door because my kids left it open. We're all working from home, so I have to be as natural as I could. All right, so please carry on, Nadzrin.
Jamuna is gonna disappear. Watch. Oh, there she goes. All right. What's so difficult to speak to an empty chair right now, Jamuna? Okay, there you go.
Last one.
Okay, repeat the question, please, for everyone else.
Yeah, the question is that if I'm not a trainer, I've never done training, or maybe I've just a new trainer, or I'm totally no exposure, why would I come to learn from you? Or what are the benefits that I can get from your program if I have no training exposure?
Okay. So if I were to give you a rundown of what the VLC is, the VLC does not give you something that you can find outside easily. For example, if you want to learn how to use the tools like Zoom or Google Jamboard or I don't know what other tools are there. There's so many out there. There's Miro. There's so many collaboration tools you can use to teach online, right? You could certainly go study that online. But what we give you is we give you that hand holding for that 1 month. You will get our full support. And the one thing that when you're learning, you have this doubt, you have this lack of safety, you don't feel comfortable. So we provide that as you self-learn. We allow you the opportunity to learn through these tools until you get confidence and creativity. These are the 2 things that we want you to develop. Confidence to be able to use the tools that you do know, and confidence to be able to use the tools that you don't know. So if I were to summarize it, we give you the ability to berani matilah. You just buat saja. The second one is creativity. Creativity is the ability to take different tools and merge them together for use. And if you allow me to rant a little bit, I have a pet peeve, and the pet peeve is this. There's so many meeting tools. There's so many collaboration tools for work, but none of these were designed for learning, which means that educators, lecturers, trainers, teachers, coaches, what we have to do, we have to take other tools, third-party tools, and merge them together and use them. There is no one system that's affordable right now, that's available to the mass market, where everything is in there. There are a few, but it's not very affordable. So what we do in the VLC is not only do we give you that confidence, we also give you the creativity to combine tools. We give you the ability, we have you develop that ability to try out new things. Every time you run a session, you try a different tool. And the benefit out of that is above and beyond, you actually have a family of facilitators who will help you out. Once you graduate, you'll have your classmates, 42 classmates, you'll have the batch before you. We want to build that camaraderie. And if I were to use the word professional learning community, that's been bandied around a lot. People like professional learning community. But what holds human beings together is heart. So the first thing we do is we build your rapport with each other first. And when you need help, there's somebody else to back you up. And at the minimum, you have me. Because after you finish the VLC program, you have my support and my coaching for one whole year. I'm giving you 365 days, everyone. And now we have a lot more facilitators. We have 17 facilitators to help out. You get their support as well. And each of them is an expert in something different. One of them is an expert in virtual team building. One of them is an expert in voice projection and you know, using the webcam technology. We have someone who's an expert in MS Teams, which I don't particularly like, but we have an expert in MS Teams. How do you teach over MS Teams? So we have a lot of people who can help you out after you graduate. Even then, my KPI is when you say to me, Nadzrin, I don't need you anymore, or you say to the facilitators, I don't need you anymore, that's when we know we've done our jobs. So benefits there.
Yeah. Right. Nadzrin, thank you so much. You know, you shared a lot about the confidence and the creativity. Now, let's look at the time now, right? Because of Corona, looks like your business is expanding and you're adding so much value, and that's great. So let's look at people who are, you know, people like me, a lot of trainers, or even those who are venturing into the training industry. Their businesses are affected because we cannot do classroom training. So this will be a great platform for them to venture. Am I right, Nadzrin? Could you please add more thoughts about this? Okay, because I'm asking that, hey, I need to earn money. You know, how would I
don't want to be selfish, and I don't want to be absolutist by saying, yes, this is the one for you. This is one of the one for you. This is an option for you. If you are a trainer, if you are a teacher, you've done tuition, you've done classes, you've done training, and now you've lost that income because you cannot do face-to-face classes anymore, then what you need to do is to pivot, to go online. Now, the challenge with a lot of people, of trainers especially, when they go online, they transfer, which means they take the slides that they use in classes and they just post it online. They do it over Zoom. You cannot do that, right? You have to transform, not transfer, but transform, which means you have to go back to your roots, redesign from scratch. And I like to give this analogy. A car, if you put wings on a car, you put turbo engines on a car, you put what are those things called? Oh my God. Jets on a car, you can make it fly. You can certainly make a car fly, but that is not what it was built for. There will be things that drop. So you need to design it as a plane from scratch. And that's the difference between offline and online. So I would say that if you think that this is the way you want to go, not everybody wants to teach, not everybody wants to train online. This is one option, especially if you're a subject matter expert, especially if you love to help people learn, then this is the one for you.
All right. Thank you, Nadzrin. And that's another thing that I like about him is that his simplicity, and he's just so real and humble. It's like, so it's very nicely you put it in like, you know, it's one option. It's not that, Jamuna, I'm going to guarantee that, you know, this is the only thing available. This is one of the options right now. Now, I'm going to tie back my question to small business owners, you know, SMEs, right? For example, there is a lady who does facial, you know, beauty salon industry, and now she can't run her business. How would your platform help her? Because all the while what she knows is that just to do the facial, make people feel, enhance their inner beauty. So example, in this situation, what can she do from your program? How can she benefit from that?
So I mentioned that if you're a subject matter expert, you know your stuff, then all you need is a delivery approach. And the VLC is one of those, right? So you could certainly do a classroom session, you could do marketing, you could advertising, you could do TikTok, you could do all sorts of stuff, right? But you could also run classes, you could also run free webinars to help people understand your product, and then they go and buy. Now, this is not new. If you go onto Shopee, they have their live sessions where, you know, there's this baju and this baju. Yes, I'm a Shopee addict, I'm so sorry. But the idea is, if you are a subject matter expert and you need to be able to go online persuasively to understand what to do first, second, third, and last in any sort of session, so that people connect with you, they understand what you're saying, they are convinced by what you're saying, and they will do what you want them to do. 4 things, right? Anybody want to write that down? They connected with you. You write the word connect. They understand what you're informing them. Write the word inform. They believe what you say, so they're convinced by what you say, and they will do what you instruct them to do. So 4 words: connect, inform, convince, instruct, which is what we teach in the VLC. How do you get them within a sequence to be able to learn and then be able to do? So even if you're marketing something, even if you're selling something, if you are a business owner and you want people to buy your products, it is still important to be able to teach them what it is, to be able to get them to believe in the benefits, and to get them to actually do, which is buy your product, to actually take action. So yes, it's relevant for all. Now, the only thing is how you're going to do that. And do you have the strength of will to do that? So the strength of will comes in confidence, the how comes in creativity. We can certainly give you examples, but everybody has a unique product or service to sell. So that's where the creativity comes in. And when you've run out of ideas, come back to the VLC family, say, hey, I'm trying to sell something tomorrow. Anybody have any ideas what to do? Somebody will pop in, hey, use this, use this, use this. So I'm not going to say the VLC will solve all your problems, but at the end of it, you will have a group of people who will eagerly help you out.
Yeah, Nadzrin. So thank you for putting it very nicely, right? Which means that for all those who are joining us today in the Zoom session, as well as watching us live, number 1 is that if you're a trainer, speaker, coach, fantastic, or even a teacher, fantastic. If you're not, doesn't matter. As long as you're a subject matter expertise, you believe so much in the product or services that you're doing, and you can use this platform to teach others, to connect, to inform, to convince, and to instruct. All right, so that you call for action. And Nadzrin, you mentioned another thing about how this whole community will help each other. And I must say that I had an earlier session with a client who was asking me, Jamuna, how are you going to observe our role play session via online? It's a sales role play session. I'm like, okay, how am I going to give, when everyone is just as a video cues? And that's when Nadzrin's notes say that we can still give the feedback because we have so many tools to observe their learning. So many games to play and the tools, and that's the gist of VLC, exposing us to a lot of wonderful tools. So we are incompetent, and we don't know what we don't know at this stage.
Well, I'll share with you what happened.
Incompetent, unconscious. Yes, incompetent, unconscious. All right. So we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. All right. Okay. Yes. Continue.
I'll share with you what happened in. So just some background for everyone here. The VLC course has not started yet. It starts officially next week. But those are the classes. This week, for those who missed it, for those who just came in, week 1 is actually pre-work. So think about when you go for a course, sometimes the trainer will send you an email, okay, read this first, do this first, do this first. So instead of just leaving you alone like that, we add you to a WhatsApp group and we guide you through the pre-work. If you have questions, you ask, which means that we have actually 100% pre-work compliance. Everybody finishes the pre-work before the class starts. Yeah. And I think, Jamuna, your class is leading. Yeah, your class is leading right now in terms of the pre-work. So we got some gamification going on. What happened recently or this morning is that one of our participants said that, it was yesterday, one of our participants from South Africa, he said that just going through the Google Classroom where we keep everything, I put links to all of the tools. So you'll find about, I think, 100 tools there. Miro, Jamboard, all sorts of stuff. It's all there. There's timers. There is a website where you can actually send voicemails. So if you want to say, teach about vocal presence, and you want to check each and everybody's vocal presence, they can go to the website, they click a button, they record their voice, they send it to your website. And instead of sending it to your WhatsApp, where you have to click everything, it's stored on the cloud. And you can go and check one by one, and you can assess each and every one. All of these tools are there. So this trainer from South Africa, he says, I haven't started the course, but I just went through all those tools you linked. I found a lot of the ones I was actually looking for in one place. And these tools will just keep getting added on as the facilitators, as you discover them. You say, Nadzrin, I think you should add this in. So we keep adding those in. But we always remind our participants or our learners is that the teacher is more important than the tool. The creativity of the teacher is more important than the tool itself, because one of my teachers, Professor Dr. Abdul Karim alias, Zaid Al-Sagaf is right here, he knows who he is. So if you read that ebook, if you read the ebook I sent out, and if you don't have it, tell me and I'll send it out to you. One of the people I recommend you follow is Professor Abdul Karim alias from USM. He is almost like the godfather of e-learning in Malaysia. So he does a lot of these YouTube videos to teach. So if you follow him, find his name on YouTube and subscribe, watch all of his videos. He says, and it's not his quote, he's quoting from other people, a fool with a tool is still a fool. If you are not smart, you're not creative, I can give you all sorts of tools and you will not know how to use it in learning session. But if you're creative, you can even use just a piece of paper and a webcam, and you can draw, and that's it. I attended one session on acupuncture. This old pakcik is teaching acupuncture, yeah, using his mobile phone, suspended over an exercise book. You know the exercise book when we were kids in school, you know, the ones and lines? He's writing it out as if it was a whiteboard. And it was awesome because he could flip to pages where he already pre-drawn, you know, the human body and the different acupuncture points. It was amazing. So you don't need to go high tech, because this is one of my teachers also from South Africa. She told me, her name is Lori Figueiredo. She's a learning strategist. She says to me, the more you digitize, the more you have to humanize. Never forget that. Never allow the tool to overshadow the teacher. You must still lead the path. You must still lead the way, right? The more you digitize, the more you have to humanize. This is why you notice as more, you know, the banks, the more they digitize their services, the more they have pictures on the wall to show these are our executives, these are our these are our customer service officers. Why do they do that? Because you cannot lose that human touch. We're still people. So I'll say it's important for everyone to remember, even if you don't join the VLC and you decide to go on your own and learn this from scratch, never let the tools overshadow you. You decide, right? And I have many stories, but I think we're running out of time.
Yeah, that will resonate with, you know, I run a presentation skill workshop. I teach them about PowerPoint presentation. And one of it I tell them is that you are the presenter, not the PowerPoint slides. The PowerPoint slides is just to complement you. It's just a tool to assist you. And you put it very nicely saying that the more you digitalize, the more you need to humanize. No copyright issues, right? It's like
no, definitely not. Definitely. because she said she got it from someone else anyway.
Now, I for those who are listening, right, friends, you have to read Nadzrin's ebook, or do they only get that when they sign up for your program, or it's available?
No. I mailed it out to all of the participants of the webinar, and it's sitting on the website. So if I give you that website, I'm not marketing VLC to you, yeah. So let me look for the website and I'll put it in the text.
So while you are checking that out, I just want to say that in Nadzrin's ebook, it's very thoughtful of him to mention people that has been very influential in his life in this journey. So he has, you know, so he is humanizing the whole thing, like where he get this idea from, and this is his mentor, and there are some prominent figures that you've mentioned there. So that's very, you know, I feel a lot of a human touch. I think in the first conversation that we had with you, I'm not going to reveal our conversation here, but I was like, I want to collaborate with you, Nadzrin. You know, that's the kind of impression that he's projecting out there. So yeah.
Well, tell you what, in the ebook, I mentioned I think 4 or 5 people. I recommend that you follow them on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of them is right here, right now. And if everyone looks at his name is Zaid Asagov. He's right there. He's hiding.
Right.
He's hiding. He's hiding. But if you allow him to turn on his webcam, he will take over the session. So no.
Inji Zaid Al-Sagov, thank you so much for joining us here. And Nadzrin had typed his website link here. So please visit and you can get a copy of his ebook, which is like, everything is just amazing. All right.
So I promised you that I wasn't marketing this to you. So you click on that link and you immediately scroll down. Don't read anything because nanti you will want to join the session. So scroll all the way down. You will find a couple of things I've given is the ebook itself. And I've given also a spreadsheet of training providers in Malaysia. 3,253 training providers. You can download that spreadsheet. It has all of their email addresses and their contact numbers. So if you are a freelance trainer and you want to get more training providers, it's right there. It's free of charge. I downloaded from the HRDF website. All I did was just I categorized them by state. So if I email them out, I'm not going to email to Perlis or Kedah. I will email to training providers in KL or Selangor only.
Yeah.
Who got questions?
Yeah, Dr. Maria, thank you for your questions. We will come to that. Just one thing before Nadzrin, I think they have a lot of questions for answer, right? Nadzrin, you also mentioned about the change of mindset. You know, all the while learning means that, okay, ada cikgu kat sana and then we are learning. So I have to see my cikgu. And now my kids are all into Google Classroom. And in fact, she's teaching me how to use Google Classroom. So what is this shift of a mindset change, you know, that where's my teacher? You know, please share about that.
Well, I would say if you read the ebook, there was something I mentioned in the ebook that we actually do learn without a teacher. And I quoted a peribahasa from a Malay peribahasa, which is also a Minang peribahasa. Alam terkembang menjadi guru. Kalau ada orang Minang kat sini, is alam terkembang menjadi guru, which means that the universe is your teacher. The people in front of you are teaching from their experience, which means what they have encountered, what they have. But you also have the universe as your teacher. You read books. When you read a book, you learn. Where's the teacher? Where's the author? Somewhere else, right? So it's not new to us. It's just that when we say that face-to-face learning is ultimate, then we run into problems. Because, and this is also an issue. Some people say books are better than reading online. But when books disappear, none of their opinion is going to matter anymore. Once upon a time, before there was a book, there were scrolls. Before there were scrolls, there were people were writing on stone. People writing on stone were saying stone is better than book. But things change. So what we need to do is adapt very fast that mindset of how do we learn. There are many ways to learn. Yes, research has shown that human beings learn better this way or this way. But remember, thousands of years ago, our teachers, our prophets, our masters, our gurus did not have whiteboards nor blackboards. How did they manage it? So tools are still not the ones that should determine the power. I mean, Zaid right here teaches drawing for learning. If anybody sees his name anywhere and he offers a free online course or a paid online course, I'm saying go and join up, because he has a very, very powerful mindset change for you that you don't need slides. You can actually use drawing. Drawing can help with stress management, can help with retention, can help with learning, all sorts. It's all there. So don't cut yourself out from something just because you're used to it. Remember one part. I don't know if there are any trainers here who are young, young enough to remember OHP. It was an overhead projector. In the 80s and 90s, I encountered quite a few trainers who said to me, what is this PowerPoint? Everybody's newfangled stuff using computer. We don't need lah. Because PowerPoint, you go back 3 slides. With my OHP, I can just switch. So this is happening again. Trainers are complaining, why must we go online? Who released the virus in the first place? Change will come. And if you don't change, change will change you. And when people have gone online during this crisis, a lot of them will realize, hey, actually, I don't need you at the office. so far we've done well with you at home. So let's save some money and we cut out 50% of our staff, stay at home. We'll pay for everything else. It saves time, saves money. You don't have to travel. It seems like you're happier. You don't come to the office with a face like that because stuck in the jam. Things will change. So I'm saying that if you deny this change, it will happen anyway. I don't even actually answer the question.
No, but I think you indirectly did touch on all the sensitive points, you know.
Yep.
All right. Alex is saying that he can't download your ebook, so probably it's just some technical.
Well, actually,
errors.
Alex, when you go there, there's a button that you can click, or you should be able to click. Let me try it myself. That should open up in a new browser. And when you open up a new browser, then there is a where is it?
All right, probably we
okay, never mind. We'll find out later.
Yeah, we'll find out later, or you could just look up for Facebook Gems Academy, and I'll just put a note to how to access into his ebook.
Yes,
yeah?
please. Yes, please.
Yes, and Dr. Maria is here. She's also another very exciting person, a great trainer. And her question is that, Nadzrin, we can use your tools and platforms. Nadzrin, you are able to read the chat there, right?
I am able to read the chat, yes.
Yeah, so so I think she put everything, she simplified her question. So could you please answer her question on those areas?
So Dr. Maria, right?
Yeah.
The answer is no. We don't provide you tools. This is not a platform we're selling. We show you what the tools are available out there, third-party tools, and then you use them. In terms of leaderboards, you have things like Kahoot. Sometimes you have to build them yourself. But no, we're not selling anything. We're not selling any system. We are only showing you, we're teaching you. So think of it like a TTT. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's a TTT to go online. But as a professional, we recommend that you invest in some tools because not all tools are free. And the good stuff you have to pay for. So my answer is no. You can't use our tools and platform. We don't have it, or not yet at least. One of these days, we are planning to have an LMS, a learning management system, built by VLCs for VLCs, according to VLC principles. So that will come soon. And then the answer will be yes. But for now, no. Yeah, that's it.
The next question is on gamification. Please, what extent?
I'm not sure. Is that, what's the question? Gamification, please, what extent? Have at extent. I don't understand the question.
Yeah, same here. Virtual event hosting, do you support that?
No, that's an event management function and we don't do that.
Yeah. I think basically, if I just, the thing is that you are running Train the Trainer, you're giving us confidence and you're giving us a platform to be creative. That's it.
Yeah.
And the tools are all available. That's it. And
we will show you. We will show you where those tools are.
All right. So
and again, like I said, if you follow Zaid, for God's sake, if you follow Zaid in the ebook, there's I'm going to bump you one more, right? Go to Facebook and you look for this. Learning Innovation Circle, I think that's what it's called. Go and join that group because Zaid posts there like, I don't know, 300 times a day. Zaid, what do you do the rest of the day, man? He just keeps posting stuff there. And every time he posts, I'm amazed because there's fantastic articles, there's fantastic tools, new tools I didn't know about. And I'm learning every single day because of him. So as the Muslims like to say, he's going to have a lot of pahala.
Yes, and probably I should interview my next panel should be Minche Zaid. Yeah, he's so interesting. I would like to know more about him.
Please interview him next.
Yeah, speaking about all this also, right? We are in a community where we are always referring and helping one another. And that's the thing. I think for those who have been following my posts will know that I'm a strong believer in that. I do an NLP session, but if I have another trainer who does an NLP session, I still recommend them. So what? The market is abundant out there. So I think this virtual learning platform will create a lot of collaboration among the subject matter expertise. It
must, because now you cannot compete anymore. You must collaborate. You must complement. If you're stuck with the mentality of competing, you'll find nobody wants to work with you.
True, true. Now, in terms of a lot of people are going more towards digital marketing now, right? This wave that has hit us, people who are like, just how you said, those days people just want to use the overhead projector. I'm a microbiology student, so my lecturer will bring the, all the cells and the bacteria slides and click, 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 click. Luckily, I'm not in the generation where I teach using OHP.
Hey, actually, it's quite fun though. Because I got the tail end of that generation where my lecturer would say, okay, now you teach using this. I'm like, what?
All right.
And I remember one of the projectors, I think something was wrong with the plug or something. It became so hot, it actually melted the plastic. So they couldn't use it anymore. That never happens with us anymore, but good days lah.
Good days, yeah. So speaking of that, so there was this evolution process. Then there was a PowerPoint slide. And people say that, oh no, I don't want to use PowerPoint. So even before the COVID-19 pandemic, there were trainers or coaches or subject matter expertise who doesn't want to go online. Say, no, I'm not into online presence. I can't do this. I need people in the room to teach. If not, I've heard that, Nadzrin, a lot of times. But the good thing now is that they are also coming up in front of the laptop to start learning about online virtual facilitation. So there has been awakening. People are not saying it's not possible, but it's just coming out of that comfort zone is difficult for people. Yep. What is your advice for people who are like just waiting for things to be better so I can run my business the way I used to?
Do you want me to give friendly advice or do you want me to give challenging advice?
Bring it on.
Okay. Stay where you are. We're leaving you behind.
Whoa.
Well, the friendly one is come along with us. Let us help you lose that fear, and let us help you to learn slowly at your own pace and have someone to coach you and guide you until you feel we don't need you anymore. Otherwise, stay there. We'll leave you behind.
Are there any more questions in the chat box? Because I'm just going to the Facebook to see if there are any more questions. Anyone just post some questions. While Nadzrin, yep, could you also share how many batches you have done so far and how many people had benefited from your great program? While I'll check on some questions in the Facebook.
Okay, so first off, before that, I apologize, guys. I have not been checking my website properly. Therefore, you can't even open up. I've checked it. You can't open the ebook. So I've put in my email address. Please email me today, and I will send out the ebooks to you. Right? No problem. Even if 100 people email me, I will send it out because I made that promise, and it was my fault. Something wrong with the website. So to answer your question is, hang on a sec. What was the question?
How many people?
Oh, how many?
Are you testing me, Nadzrin? I'm supposed to be like a co-host. I'm supposed to sit well with you. Don't make me surprised.
So I've told you the history of the VLC, which was I didn't plan for it to be like this. I thought let's just help out a few people, and then the first session blew up. I originally planned to have 24. I said I want to have 24 people. Then they just kept saying, please, can I come in? Can I come in? And go, alamak. So I needed to have an upper limit, and the upper limit is 42 people. And out of that 42 people, 40 signed up for the first batch. And now we're running 2 concurrent sessions at the same time. So VLC 1, I call VLC 1.0. The second and third batches now is VLC 2.0 and 3.0. So right now we have full class, full house, 42 in one class, 42 in another class at the same time. But now I have something I did not have when I ran the first batch, which is facilitators to help me out. And they are selected people from the first batch who did excellent in their studies in VLC 1, and who I'm now upskilling to be able to run the VLC session on their own. So in the future, you might not see this face anymore running VLC. It will be these 17 facilitators who will run it for their clients or public. And that's what I want to see. I want to see that a lot more people can benefit from this, because Nadzrin alone is not going to be able to do this. So 40 right now in 1.0, 42 and 42. I'm terrible at maths. What is that? 84, 94, 104, 124. Yep, 124 people who by the end of June will have 124 VLCs.
That's including my batch?
That's including you, right? You.
Yay, I'm super excited. I'm gonna be like a good student and a testimony. I always believe that, you know, we always forward negative news and when someone does a mistake, but how many of us are actually sharing good stuff that goes on? And I've actually called two of my friends, hey, you know what, this course is great, and why don't you join? So that's the power of words, is that it's the kind of trust and a relationship that you've built, Nadzrin, and it's creating a positive ripple effect. Yeah.
Well,
All
tell you
right.
what, guys, this is to everybody, right? I think if you word your marketing well, you attract similar type of people, right? And I want to share something, and I want to make sure you don't misunderstand what I'm saying, right? There are different ways of marketing the same thing. And some people, when they market a trainer, they use words like become a highly paid trainer, earn a lot of money as a trainer. That will attract a certain kind of person, and that's okay. How we do our marketing is we say, help your learners learn even online. And that attracts a different kind of learner. So in the groups, in part 1, part 2, part 3 right now, you get to see that everybody shares the same value. They always put the learner first. They put the participant first. It's always about them. It's not about our earning first. That's not right. That's not wrong. Because if you want to be a trainer and you want to earn money, that's your right. It's just that how we market and how we create the branding of VLC is we want to help people learn. And right now our mission is this, and the facilitators agree with me. Our mission is to get as many educators, doesn't matter if you call yourself a trainer or a coach or whatever you are, as many educators online as quickly as possible, to such an extent. And Kelvin, one of our facilitators, said, until they don't need us anymore. Until when we advertise the VLC and nobody wants to register, then we'll know we've done our job. And that's pretty much it. This is what the VLC is. Jamuna, are you still there?
Yeah. I'm just, because those who are commenting in our Facebook page, they just wanted to know your email address. So I've just copy and paste there. And perhaps later, Nadzrin, you could just go to the Facebook page and just type in again and address those who are asking. There are no questions there anyway. Yeah.
All right. Well,
if they need anything, yeah.
Do you want like a third-party testimonial? Because we have a couple of people here who are actually from VLC1. They've joined in.
Okay, now,
No?
yeah, just Nadzrin, there is a question from Ming. Yes,
Ming?
Thank you, Subhat Ming. There is a question to Miss Jamuna. Just curious, as you just joined the VLC certification program and the class is not really started, what makes you so confident about it and host this session to share the power of VLC? So
Ming is one of our facilitators.
Oh, Ming, are you testing me, Ming?
I think he is.
Yeah, Ming, it started even before I registered to become on board. I have been stalking Nadzrin for a while right now. I'm a happily married woman, all right? Stalking Nadzrin, and I was just so curious to what is this guy doing? And his picture is pretty handsome, so it attracts me to, stalk him even further. I don't give a handsome post now, Nadzrin. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. This is post MCO hair.
So that's the one thing so his brochures has been everywhere, and I want to know what he does. So my first call when I was speaking with him was not to join his. I wanted to know how I can collaborate with him, how I can interview him, and that was my intention. And that meeting, that conversation, that first conversation with him, I could feel this genuine thing in him, just like me. He's just willing to share, and he said a lot of other things spiked out like, hey, you know what? I want to take this up. That's it. I signed up without knowing how much is the program, because I'm a learner, I'm a trainer, I'm a coach. I invest on my learning. So that's the thing. Yeah. So it all started before the course started. Yeah.
So Ming, you got your answer.
Now they think that you're really paying me, Nadzrin. That's way too much advertising.
I will say this, guys. Okay, today we ran this session, this webinar, to get you aware about it. But if you don't join, that's okay. There are many other trainer sessions out there. The thing is, don't stop learning. In my face-to-face classes, I use this term. I learned it somewhere, but I cannot credit it, unfortunately. May Allah give whoever gave that to me a lot of good deeds. I asked participants, what do you want to be when you grow up? And because we have adult participants, there's this confused look on their face. I am grown up. And then I ask them second question, so have you stopped growing? And then they get it. And I don't need to say anything. I ask the question again, what do you want to be when you grow up? And we get such amazing answers because we still have a lot of life left in us. Some people have stopped growing. And when they stop growing, they stop learning. When they stop learning, they start dying. I'm telling you this, I'm 43 years old. The people in the VLC group right now are super duper senior trainers. I am scared as heck. But they are so humble. They want to come in and say, Nadzrin, we want to learn from you, with you. And I say, since you want to do that, I will do that for you. So age does not matter because I am equally inspired by the people who come to learn. And I think that's the way it should be.
All right, so we are right on time. We're going to do a closing right now. Thank you all for registering. You know, the thing is that we had about 40 people who registered and 25 of them are here. That's the ratio all this while, but we have people who are watching it live. And I would minta tolong from whoever who are here. Please go to Facebook Gems Academy and start sharing the this session. You know, you need to host the party there, party meaning a start watch party, so that more people can see that. Yeah. And also Nadzrin, I could also like to share is that I am joining Nadzrin's session because I'm taking my online presence class that I'm doing to the next level. So I'm complementing all this and I love to learn more from you. And for all those who are here, you can join my closed group, my Facebook community group, where I have a lot of information, like what Nadzrin said, right? You know, knowledge, awareness, knowledge, commitment, and skill. Okay, and I have already memorized his step by step. It's all there about creating your online presence before embarking on digital marketing, and virtual learning will complement it really, really well, Nadzrin. Thank you so much for, sharing all this. Any last word from you, Nadzrin?
Well, last words, and one last question that was PM directly to me, and I think everyone should know this as well. The question is VLC certified by HRDF? The answer is it is not. It is not a TTT that's certified by HRDF. But if you want for HRDF claimability, then that is possible because out of our 17 facilitators, we do have facilitators who have companies that are registered with HRDF. So when they run the VLC courses, they got one better than me lah. If you go for their courses, then you can claim from HRDF. Last word from me again. Yes, this is about the VLC today, but it's not about marketing it to you. It is about trying to help you understand that change comes and you must be able to learn to pivot. And I've already mentioned Professor Abdul Karim Alias. I've already mentioned Zai Alias Salgov. There are there are a few other names. Pete Pereira. There is Francis G on LinkedIn. And when you email me, I'll send you the ebook. All their links are in there. I recommend you follow them. If you follow them, you don't actually need the VLC. Yeah, a bit more hard work lah, but you don't actually need to come for the course. Follow them and learn from them and pivot fast. What is pivot? Means change fast. Don't allow this to happen. I'll give you one last story to share. Two stories. One of them is a lot of my trainer friends have lost their income. They make 20K, 30K a month. They've lost their income. But trainers specifically, a lot of them they practice what they preach. They teach about change management. They teach about resilience. They do it as well. So one of my trainer friends has lost his 10K income. He's now selling rendang bilis sedap. He's got rendang ikan bilis sedap. And in the beginning it was slow, but now he's making a lot of money. And he's saying, maybe I will stop training. He's just selling rendang ikan bilis sedap. I've ordered 4 so far. It's going to come by post laju. That's one. Second story, one of our VLC participants took it to heart about change, right? And teacher being more than tools. He's teaching Quran. Wait a minute. It's here. My daughter the rendang ikan bilis is here. Oh my God. That was quick.
You're making me hungry.
I am not making this up. Alicia, bila sampai ni? When did this come? Okay, so my rendang ikan bilis. This is God sent, man. My rendang ikan bilis just by Skynet lagi. Okay. So second story is one of our VLC participants. He teaches Quran, and he was running a Facebook live session yesterday morning. Jamuna, I think you're in his group, right? No, you're not in his group. You're in the other class. So he said he was teaching about Quran, and then Facebook live just disappears on him. It just fails. So he calmly says to his participants, "Okay, guys, let's move to WhatsApp." And they all move to WhatsApp, and he does a video call, and he continues like that. Stay calm, stay relaxed. When something fails, don't panic. When you panic, your students panic. They don't know what you have planned. So the show must go on. When something happens, relax. Worst case scenario, okay, guys, it looks like the session today is not going to be possible. Technology is not giving us any cooperation. I'm going to postpone this. I'm making an executive decision. I'm postponing this. I'll send you emails. We'll find another day better. Okay? Thank you for your time. We'll see you then. And that's it. Take charge.
Thank
Jamuna,
you.
all yours.
Thank you so much, Nadzrin. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us today. So our objective is that just to let you know, there is another platform called Virtual Learning Facilitation. And there's this amazing guy, Nadzrin, and he has a bunch of even amazing facilitators who are there to assist you. And I'm one of the living evidence who's going through his program. And join us if you like to just learn, as what he said, grow and implement and add value to other people. Nadzrin, are you trying to open your Ikan Bilis? And everyone here is that,
because I need to show you guys that this is really,
Ikan Bilis.
sometimes God does this, right? I'm talking about it and it comes, right? Look at that. It's right there. I have 4 of these sitting on my table right now.
All right.
I paid yesterday. How does it arrive today?
Okay, so thank you. Enjoy your rendang ikan bilis. Thank you so much for all our participants who had joined us. Yes, thank you so much. And we look forward meeting you. And we have shared a lot of email links and Facebook links here. Please click and support one another till we meet another time. Thank you so much, Nadzrin. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.